You are standing in a forest. It is 100,000 BC. Something is moving in the trees to your left. Something large. You need to warn the person next to you, right now, immediately. But you have no words. You have no language. You have nothing but your hands, your face, and whatever sounds your throat can produce. So you do something. You make a noise. And that noise, that desperate, terrified, completely unplanned noise, might be the most important sound ever made in the history of this planet. Because here's what nobody tells you about the origin of language. It didn't begin with a conversation. It began with survival. Most people assume language is just something humans have, like a liver or a kneecap, a biological given. But language isn't in your DNA the way your eye color is. What's in your DNA is the potential for language, the hardware. And for millions of years, that hardware sat mostly unused, waiting, like a phone with no signal. So what finally switched it on? The answer starts not in the mouth, but in the throat. Around 300,000 years ago, something shifted in human anatomy. The larynx, your voice box, began to descend lower in the throat than in any other primate. This is called the descended larynx, and it is genuinely strange, because it's actually dangerous. It makes choking significantly more likely. No other animal has this configuration. A chimpanzee cannot choke on its food the way you can. Evolution does not make things more dangerous without a very good reason. The fact that it happened anyway tells you exactly how valuable speech became. We literally evolved a design flaw because talking was worth dying for. But anatomy is only part of the story, because here's what almost nobody talks about. A parrot has a sophisticated vocal apparatus. A parrot can mimic human speech with remarkable accuracy. But a parrot has no idea what it's saying. It has the instrument, but not the music. So what did ancient humans have that the parrot didn't? A gene called FOXP2. FOXP2 is sometimes called the language gene, which is an oversimplification, but useful. What it actually does is regulate the fine motor control of the mouth, tongue, and jaw, the precise muscular coordination required to produce the specific sounds that make up spoken language. Humans have a unique mutation of this gene that no other primate shares. When this gene is damaged in modern humans, the result is severe difficulty with speech and grammar. And when researchers identified the human version of FOXP2 in Neanderthal DNA, the scientific community went quiet for a moment, because it meant Neanderthals may have been capable of speech too. Not just grunts, not just gestures, actual structured vocalization. Your distant cousin, the one you were told was primitive, may have been telling stories around a fire 50,000 years ago. And this is where the story gets unsettling. If Neanderthals could speak, and then they disappeared, that means at some point, two different speaking species existed on this planet at the same time. Two groups of beings with language, with the ability to communicate complex thought, possibly even aware of each other. And one of them vanished. We still don't fully know why, but language, the ability to organize, to plan, to coordinate, to persuade, almost certainly played a role in who survived and who didn't. Words may have been the original weapon. So the next time you speak, remember this. Your voice is not simple. It is the product of millions of years of evolutionary pressure, genetic mutation, anatomical risk, and social necessity. Ancient humans didn't learn to speak because they wanted to chat. They learned to speak because the alternative was silence. And in a world full of things that wanted to eat them, silence was just another way of disappearing.